ของต้องหมดเลยนะของพี่หนูที่จับหนูต้องอยู่ตรงนี้แต่ต้องหลบให้ต้องพูดอะไรก็ต้องไปก่อนนะRight. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Jutipapar Suwanganit, work for Sundusit Ratchapat University. And today, I am glad to welcome you all to a day of future with e-learning at Sundusit Ratchapat University. And first of all, we would like to welcome Professor Bonk. And we are pleased to have him here today. Many of you may not know him before, but I would like to give a little bit of him today, that he has a background in accounting, where he obtained an accounting degree from University of Wisconsin at Whitewater, the United States of America. He received his PhD in educational psychology from the same place at University of Wisconsin. During his PhD, he had been offering the job to help create television-based educational programming on critical thinking. After graduating, he worked for West Virginia University, 1989 to 1992. Later, he has been working for Indiana University since August 1992. One of his fabulous building creativity was to demonstrate new technologies in education. At first, served as professor of educational psychology, later in educational technology. In the late 1990s, he was a founding member of the Center for Research on Learning and Technology at Indiana University. He is now professor of instructional system technology at Indiana University and also an adjunct professor for School of Informatics. An affiliate member of the Indiana University Cognitive Science Program and visiting professor at the University of Glamorgan in Wales, United Kingdom. With his long-been experience, he has written nearly 300 articles and books and topics of online learning, massive multiplayer online gaming, wikis, blogging, open source software, collaborative technology, synchronized and asynchronous computer conferencing, and the future of online and blended learning. This is a confirmation that Professor Dr. Curtis Bonk is a real expert in the world. We are pleased and honored to learn from him and also get chance to discuss in person with him today. ก็ยินดีต้อนรับ Professor Bonk ทุกท่านก็ทราบแล้วว่า Professor Bonk ท่านเจ๋งสุดยอดขนาดไหนและในวันนี้เพื่อไม่เป็นการเสียเวลานะคะดิฉันก็ขออนุญาตค่ะเรียนเชิญผู้อำนวยการศูนย์ e-learningขึ้นมากล่าวรายงานขอเรียนเชิญดร.อมรวรรณ ลิ้มสมมุติค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะขออนุญาตกล่าวรายงานเป็นภาษาอังกฤษนิดนึงแล้วก็ภาษาไทยนะคะพอดีวิทยากรเราเป็นต่างชาตินิดนึงนะคะ Vice President of สวนดุสิตราชภัฏ University Assistant Professor Dr. Niramit Gunanuwat, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you very much for your time opening the seminar today. The e-learning of Sundusit Ratchapat University is honored to be the host and welcome you all to the Day of Future with e-learning. The objectives of seminar today are to learn and update e-learning in present and future. Second, to make networking both government and private sectors among the participants. From this, we hope you enjoy learning the e-learning today and enjoy yourself. Please feel free to discuss and to be together and enjoy a day of future with e-learning. under the concept of food fun and focus เรียนท่านรองอธิการมหาลัยราชภัฏสวนดุสิตผส.ดร.นิรมิตคุณานุวัฒน์ในนามผู้จัดงานสัมมนาในครั้งนี้ขอบพระคุณท่านประธานที่มาเปิดงานในครั้งนี้และขอบคุณแขกผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านที่มาจากหลากหลายภาคนะคะจากทั้งกรุงเทพอีสานภาคกลางภาคตะวันออกและภาคใต้ที่มาในวันนี้นะคะปัจจุบัน e-learning มีงานใช้งานอย่างแพร่หลายในทั้งภาครัฐและภาคเอกชนนะคะแล้วก็เป็นเครื่องมือที่ช่วยในการพัฒนาการเรียนการสอน e-learning จึงกลายเป็นสิ่งจำเป็นสำหรับการศึกษาและการพัฒนาบุคลากรในปัจจุบันนะคะในการจัดงานมีวัตถุประสงค์เพื่อรับทราบข้อมูลด้าน e-learning ในปัจจุบันและแนวโน้มในอนาคตเพื่อสร้างเครือข่ายของผู้ใช้งานและผู้พัฒนาด้าน e-learning ของไทยการจัดงานในครั้งนี้ผู้จัดแบบไม่เป็นทางการนะคะทุกท่านน่าจะได้ข้อมูลนะคะวันนี้เราตั้งใจจะให้ผู้เข้าร่วมงานสัมมนารู้สึกสบายเป็นกันเองนะคะตามคอนเซปต์หนึ่งของการใช้ e-learning นะคะ e-learning จะต้องทำให้เรารู้สึกสบายขึ้นนะคะแล้วก็ทำให้เรื่องยากให้เป็นเรื่องง่ายนะคะบัดนี้ได้เวลาอันสมควรแล้วขอเรียนเชิญท่านประธานกล่าวเปิดงานสัมมนาเชิงวิชาการระดับชาติ A Day of Future with E-Learning กับเรียนเชิญค่ะ
สวัสดีดร.บองท่านรองอธิการบดีท่านผู้บริหารแล้วก็ท่านผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านนะคะมหาลัยราชภัฏสวนดุสิตก็ยินดีต้อนรับทุกท่านด้วยความภาคภูมิใจค่ะแต่นี้เป็นเวอร์ชันภาษาอังกฤษนะคะ Professor Dr. Curtis Bonk, distinguished participants, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning and welcome to Suwon Dusit University. I'm delighted and very honored to preside over this seminar, A Day of Future with E-Learning. I like the title, A Day of Future with E-Learning. I realize that you are fully interested in learning more and to update the future worldwide with Professor Dr. Curtis Bonk, who is the world expert in e-learning from Indiana University, the United States of America. Certainly, you also look forward to enhancing the learning skills through e-learning, as well as the challenges of e-learning and its applications. I may confirm that you wouldn't be disappointed with all these distinguished speakers we have today. The former topic would lead the discussion by Associate Professor Dr. Chai Lerth Pichit Pornchai, President of Sukhothai Thanmathirat Open University, whereas the latter one would be extended the challenges by Associate Professor Yoon Poovorawan, the Consultant of Information Technology at Kasetsart University. Dear all delegates, participants, I hope you enjoy learning and sharing the e-learning seminar, as well as taking an opportunity to get to know each other, to know your new friends here in your same subject field. Please feel free to discuss and make the most of it. Enjoy a day of future with e-learning under the concept of food, fun, and focus. I wish it a very fruitful and productive seminar, and that all participants are happy as well. Thank you, Professor Bonk, for your precious time. My appreciation also goes to the committee, the organizing team, for their hard working. And I thank you all the participants for your kind participation. Without you, the seminar wouldn't be happen. Thank you very much.
ขอให้ได้ผมขอมอบให้ท่านรองนะคะเราจะให้มอบอะไรกราบขอบพระคุณท่านรองที่การบดีค่ะ Thank you very much for the opening speech and for the next would it be possible to take a picture together Professor Bonk do you mind shall we have picture together yes please ขอเรียนเชิญคณาจารย์ทุกท่านค่ะท่านผู้บริหารเชิญด้านนี้เลยค่ะก็อย่างที่เรียนไปแล้วนะคะว่าเราจะถ่ายภาพเป็น2ช็อตด้วยกันช็อตแรกก็จะเป็น45องศาตากล้องจะอยู่มุมทางด้านโน้นเลยแล้วทุกคนก็จะเอียงข้างนิดนึงนะคะช็อตที่2ของเราจะเป็นด้านหน้าทุกคนก็จะมองทางด้านหน้า Well Professor Bonk we are going to take picture and we have like 2 shots and first we are going to do like 45 angled towards on your right to the end of the corner Right. Shall we do 45 angles, please? Twist right a little bit. Very good, thank you. And then for the next shot, shall we move towards the front and have another picture?เรียบร้อยค่ะขอบพระคุณค่ะ Thank you very much พี่อุ๋มคนที่ถ่ายของ power bank เลยไหมคะขออนุญาตอีกนิดนึงได้ไหมคะถ้าเราจะถ่ายรูปยืนพร้อมๆกันจะได้ไหมได้ไหมคะขออนุญาตนิดนึงค่ะ exercise ก่อนที่เราจะเริ่มเข้าเรียนหนังสือเดี๋ยวเราไป go grab snack and food and have fun enjoy everything together and then we crack on the lecture but first of all shall we stand up and have picture together again Professor Bonk do you mind to join them in the middle pleaseขอเรียนเชิญท่านผู้บริหารและคณาจารย์ด้านข้างด้วยค่ะ อบพระคุณค่ะทุกท่าน ตอนนี้ขออีกนิดเดียวได้ไหมคะสำหรับคนที่ได้ power bank เพราะว่ากลัวทุกท่านจะหายไป ก็ขอทุกท่านที่ได้ power bank เชิญด้านหน้านิดนึงค่ะ กดกันได้ค่ะ power bank ขอเรียนเชิญผอ.ชี้แจงนิดนึงนะคะ เกี่ยวกับกดกันได้ power bank เป็นยังไง
ค่ะพอดีเป็นโปรโมชั่นนิดนึงอะค่ะ20 ท่านแรกที่สมัครแล้วชำระค่าลงทะเบียนมาได้ power bank อะค่ะน่าจะได้รับกันไปบ้างแล้วตอนลงทะเบียนใช่ไหมคะถ้าใครยังไม่รับอาจารย์ไม่ทราบว่าเรียบร้อยกันหรือยังมี20 ท่านนะคะอยู่ตรงไหนบ้างคะยกมือหน่อยได้ไหมคะไม่ทราบอาจารย์ว่าเดี๋ยวให้ professor ท่านเริ่มพูดเลยก่อนดีกว่าเนาะคะเพราะว่าเราลุกออกมากันลำบากนะคะงั้นเดี๋ยวขออนุญาตเริ่มเรื่องของการสัมมนาเลยละกันนะคะค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
Dear Professor Bonk, it's time for lecture, but we are going to have a food fun and focus. And now you are going to hold the event and lead everybody in focusing. Please welcome Professor Curtis J. Bonk.
Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Can you bring me all that? Bring that all over here. Hello. It's good to be back in Thailand. My first time here, I was on my birthday, 7 years ago, at, how do you say, Ramkhamhaem University? How do you say? Someone help me. RKU? Yeah. So they had a conference in 2006. And we had a great time in December. So this is my second time here, and I'm going to be here for a couple of weeks. Yesterday at Chula, and next week in Chiang Mai, and tomorrow I go to Vietnam for a couple days. So it's really great to be able to come here today and have Om invite me in to speak to all of you. Who was with me yesterday at Chula? There are a couple of you were at Chula yesterday. Yeah, 2 of you, someone else in the lead in the back. 3 of you were with me yesterday. Everything is posted. All my talks are on the internet. You can download everything. So if you go to a website called Training Share, one word, trainingshare.com. You can get all my notes. You can download my slides, including this talk here. We're going to go for 1 hour and then take a break, and then we'll come back and do 45 minutes. So this will be two parts. The first part will be more big picture. Second part will be more specifics of what you can do with learning technologies, especially e-learning and blended learning. As I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to give you 2 or 3 free things. As Om said, if I say free 3 times, you will like me better than if I don't say free. So free, free, free. I'm going to give you free things. One is videos that I've done on how to teach online. If you go to my homepage, just type my name in Google, you can get 27 videos on how to teach online that are 10 minutes long. And you can download them and remix and share. The second and most important to me is you can get my new book for free. The book will actually come out officially in April or early May, but I already put it up on the internet for all of you just before I came here. It's a preprint. We're still doing a little bit of editing. My son is doing a book cover, and so that book will publish through Amazon. I'm self-publishing, but I'm making a free ebook, PDF ebook. If you go to a website, TEC, Tech-Variety, TEC-Variety.com. You can have the book right now if you have an internet connection. You can download it and put it on your mobile or on your laptops and have that right away. So now I've given you 2 free things, a free book and free videos. And I'm done. I'll see you next week. No. Okay. I also want to say there are more free things will come up. If you go to my homepage, you'll find other things. I did a class for Blackboard on how to teach online. It's called a MOOC, a Massive Open Online Class. Has anyone heard of a MOOC? MOOC, okay. That MOOC is available for free off my homepage. You can go and take it and get a certificate on how to teach online. So you can get a free class, a free book, and free videos. Okay? So there's 3 free things. So I've given you 3 things. And now I'm done. No. You have comfortable chairs. Do not fall asleep on me. I will talk louder if you do. People in the back row, they're checking their Facebook right now. The lady in the way back, I see her checking Facebook. Everyone look back. She's there she is, see? I saw that. Okay. So I will try and keep you awake in different ways. I will be jumping up and down during this talk. I promise to jump up and down. I promise to get to all of you jumping up and down today at some point. I promise all of you to be getting a break at some point. They told me we're supposed to have a casual event, so I'm not supposed to wear a suit coat. Okay, so I have to get rid of the suit coat at some point. Later, I'll get rid of the suit coat, and I will become Superman. We'll see. So, should I start? No, I don't want to start yet. I want to find somebody in the audience. Where's Apple? Where did she go? Where did my student go? Raise your hand, Apple. There you are. Apple, if you could stand up for everyone, just to say, everyone, give Apple a round of applause for finishing her PhD at Indiana University. Give her a round of applause, everybody. She just finished. My dean's office said give Apple a special pen from Indiana, since you didn't get your transcript yet. There you go. I brought a few more pens to give away for people who ask me questions. Good questions, hopefully. Apple just finished in our library science department, School of Library and Information Sciences. She was in a couple of my classes and finished in December. So it's great to see her again, and a few of my other students will be seeing me next week. I go to Vietnam. I don't know anybody in Vietnam, so if you would like to join me, so I know somebody, but my plane leaves tomorrow morning, I'll meet you at the airport. Okay, so I should probably get started. Maybe not. Okay, so my notes are posted off my homepage, and you can find all of that up on the web somewhere. And we haven't tested fully the audio. We may have to tweak it a little bit here in the audio part and turn it up, but I think it might be loud enough. This talk is about the future and the present state of e-learning and blended learning and motivation and all sorts of other things online. You see, learning is changing for all of us. Learning is changing all the time. And some of you brought a cell phone. How many of you have a cell phone? Hold it up in the air if you got it. Your mobile phone with you? How many of you have a tablet computer? Hold it up in the air. How many have a tablet computer with you? Hold the tablet so I can see it. I can look for the good one to steal. Okay? All right. So you brought your mobile devices. You bring e-learning with you all the time. This is the next generation. We're in the next generation of learning here. We're moving into a new time where technology is taking us to new possibilities, to new places, to go where no one has gone before. So hopefully we can find a place where no one has gone before.
Engage. Engage. Space. The final frontier.
We are going to take you on a journey.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Somewhere.
Its continuing mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations,
to boldly go where no one has gone before. Okay, so we will go somewhere. Yesterday we were at Chula. Mimi here will recognize her picture. She asked good questions. She got $1 million. If you ask a good question, I will give you $1 million today to take home with you. I may give you an IU pen. She got both yesterday, didn't you? Okay. Didn't know you'd be in my talk, did you? So, hopefully. Now, back in the States, I work with someone, my number one colleague, her name is Mimi Lee, spelled differently, but we're working on a book together on MOOCs and open education right now, and other things. When I went to graduate school, and she did a very nice introduction of me talking about going to graduate school, I was learning online in a way, distance learning. I was learning through TV and correspondence. And my professor grading my exams told me that I was admitted to doctoral school at Wisconsin. He told me, you've been admitted in. Now, I was an accountant. Any accountants in here? It's very boring stuff. Oh, God, it's boring. I was sleeping all the time, you know, in a little cubicle. But not e-learning, but distance learning woke me up. I got a vision of what I wanted to do. And this person here changed my life. I never met him, but he changed my life. He's changed all of your lives, you see. All of us have been impacted by Charles Wiedemeyer. He's got a book about learning in non-traditional, informal ways with technology, with computers and other things. His book, Learning at the Back Door, I recommend. $1 used on Amazon. Okay? You've had the rich kid here learning, the poor kid not learning. Looking in through the back door. He's not allowed into the high-ranking university or school. But today you can be learning from Stanford and Harvard online in open education, open educational resources. Now, my professor worked with him. My professor, Dr. Robert Clausen, worked with Charles Wiedemeyer. They were doing blended learning in the 1960s and 70s. He was doing distance learning in the 1950s. He was doing satellite television in the 1950s, and people thought he was a crazy person. Who would do satellite TV? You know, he thought it was way out there. Some of the things I'm going to talk about today, you might say, he's a crazy person. We can't do this in 2014, but in 2024, we might just well be doing all the things I'm going through today, you see. So don't just think about with the lenses and the glasses that you're wearing today. Think about the glasses you'll be wearing in 10 years and the viewpoints that you'll be having in 20 years or 15 years, whenever. We are in the learning century. We are learning all the time. You held up your tablets. You held up your mobile phones. You've learned something today, I'm sure, on your mobile phone. Someone sent you a message, an email, a resource to look up. You've been accessing information online all the time. When I went to graduate school, we only had television, we had tapes, we had, you know, silly paper, you know, books, encyclopedias, but we didn't have all the things that we have wrapped around us today. And so times have changed. We're in a new learning age, if you will. I'm not sure where my little bags went down here. But do I have all my things here? Is there more there? My little black bag somewhere? There it is. Okay, pull it all out. Put it all on the table. Yeah, everything. Yeah. So we've come into a new age of new kinds of learning. And this gentleman here led the way. He told us this was coming. He predicted everything that's happening today. He had a vision. There's another person that had a vision in the 1930s named Vannevar Bush. No relation to George Bush. Vannevar Bush predicted Wikipedia in 1936. You can look up his article online called As We May Think. He hid it during World War II. He didn't want the Germans to get his ideas. He came out with it in 1945. As We May Think. Read this article. He predicted hypermedia, and he predicted YouTube in a way, and Wikipedia and other things. So those two people, this guy here and Vannevar Bush, had a vision. Today, we lack people with vision. There aren't people out there providing us, and we don't know who those people are who have a vision of tomorrow. I can give you a bit of a vision, but we need some leadership in this field. I think that's critical today. Maybe someone here in Thailand can provide that lens, that view, that prediction of where we're going. This was one lens. Now, when I got to Wisconsin, Dr. Robert Clausen, who worked with Wiedemeyer, said, let's create a course on critical thinking. We did a distance learning course on critical thinking together, okay? And that became a national distributed course throughout the U.S. for a decade or so. So I learned this way. I was saved. My life was saved. My soul was saved through distance learning. Okay? I was so bored. You see, people ask me, how can I speak all day? Yesterday, spend one day as an accountant and every other day of your life is a blessing. I hope nobody's an accountant in here. You know, accountants didn't like online learning. They protested online learning. It's going to be too boring. They had protests, like your protesters here, they protested online learning. Boring. I took face-to-face accounting. That was really boring stuff, okay? So, you know, online learning is saving lives. People are taking MOOCs and finding out they can learn engineering. They can learn whatever topic that's being taught, entrepreneurship, whatever it is, psychology. They can find out that they want a new occupation. They have a new hobby. They have a new interest. Technology can open people's eyes up to possibilities to contribute to society. They may not finish the course, but they may become aware of a new skill, of a new interest. So I am studying people's lives are changing. The newspapers, especially in the U.S., talk about dropout rates. They get hung up on completion. And actually, many people who do not complete the course are still having their lives changed. Lives are changing. No newspaper is talking about lives being changed. To me, that's much more important than completing a course. We have to ask bigger questions. We have to see a different lens, how people's lives are being impacted. We have people in the U.S., in Afghanistan, in the war. They are getting MBAs at night before they go to bed. They're learning online. Okay? Now our airplanes in the U.S. are allowing us to access the internet on the plane. We can be learning on a plane, on a train, on a boat, hiking in the mountains. We can be learning all the time. It's not just in a school or in a university. We have to see the lens differently today. He was the start. This person here provided that lens, and every sentence in this book is quotable. Every single sentence is a quote you can put on your Facebook page or somewhere. I highly recommend this book. Okay? I never met him. I should have before he died. Okay? There's a new book, a revised book Wisconsin came out with. Don't buy his new one. He died 20-some years ago. Nothing changed. He didn't write anything, just a new cover. They charge a lot of money. Buy the used one on Amazon for $1. Wisconsin doesn't need your money. I give them enough. Okay. So, have I convinced you yet? Learning is changing lives. How many of you agree here? Learning technology changes lives, right? Quite a few of you agree. A few of you are still cautiously optimistic out there. I can tell you, I just finished a book on John Adams, the second president of the United States, and his son, John Quincy Adams. Fascinating guy. John Quincy Adams met Napoleon. He met the Tsar of Russia. He met the King of England. He met Abraham Lincoln. He met George Washington. He met Benjamin Franklin. He was an amazing guy. And he met his father, the second president. So in his time, during Boston years, when they were alive, correspondence courses started. In those times, in London, correspondence courses started, and then we moved through to phonographs and radio. My life changed through radio. I listen to books in my car now. I learn in my car from a CD still, or on my phone. People learn through television. My life changed through television. Some people learn through VHS tapes and beta tapes, right? DVDs. These are old technologies, but we have had millions of people whose lives have been impacted in India alone. All around the world here I was at Marasarakam 7 years ago. People were telling me how they learned through TV, correspondence, and other things. You see, at Indiana, we have a overhead projector class, overhead projector 101, how to use an overhead projector. In the 1950s, they taught people how to use an overhead projector. That was technology in 1955 and 60. Today, we've come a long ways, you know. We've got these kind of technologies wrapped around us at all times, right? I may have one of those with us. Remember zip disks? How many remember these fit in your pocket? All my dissertation data was on one of those. I lost all of my data on one of those disks. I think we've got other things in here somewhere if I can pull it. Who remembers punch cards? Who remembers that? Raise your hands. You're old, okay, certifiably old. Okay. But he admits to it, okay, so that's okay. I think I've got some other things in here, but you remember floppy disks? I lost my floppy disks. They're somewhere. So we've got a lot of things are happening simultaneously, tape decks and so forth. This was my computer, 1983. My boss didn't want me to have a personal computer. He didn't believe in personal computing. He only did mainframe computing, right? This weighed 40 pounds. That was a mobile device. But Steve Jobs had other visions about personal computing back in those days. See, well, in 83 and 84, I was an accountant, very bored and boring. I was 8 years old, maybe 6 years old, I don't know what I was. So,
Computer status report.
every day was the same old thing. Every day was the same old thing. But 1987, when I went to graduate school in 86, 87, 88, Apple Computer had a vision of the future. The vision was called this Knowledge Navigator. Go to YouTube and you can watch the video called the Knowledge Navigator and find out about the iPad, the iPhone, tablet computers, Siri talking to your computer, web conferencing, video conferencing, all that's in that short video of a professor accessing online databases and doing comparison to a professor at another university and having the professor come into the class from thousands of miles away. Apple Computer had this vision, the Knowledge Navigator. They knew where we were going. See, today, we don't know where we're going. We're jumping into a new time, but we don't really know where that new time is. See, today, anyone can learn anything from anyone else at any time. We can all learn. He can teach me something, I can teach him something, and so forth, right? Oat here from Chula, she was teaching me something last week. She sent me some resources I need to learn what Chula is all about. I sent her some resources. We can learn from people around the world all the time. Oat told me, don't pick on me today, didn't you? Okay. So the young people today have technologies, like I have my mobile phone here. It's finally got a smartphone. I had a dumb phone for a long time. I still am an old person. I need a keyboard. No, I don't use this keyboard. I was a stupid person buying a keyboard from Samsung. So we have these different technologies. Everyone has a different technology. This is the me generation. So, question. How many of you remember where you were when Steve Jobs died? Anybody? It didn't matter here. It mattered to me. I knew where I was. You see, I cried a bit that night. And I'm not an Apple person. I use PCs. I don't use a Mac. But he led the way. He had a vision of where we're going. How many of you remember what you were doing on 9/11? 9/11. Anyone remember? You remember what you were doing? What were you doing on 9/11? Driving home when you heard about it. So it was nighttime here. It was morning. I got woken up. Someone told me, you need to watch the news. Who else remembers what they were doing? Anyone else? He was driving home. What else? What's that? What?
I'm looking at the television.
Yeah, television.
I'm teaching.
Teaching, okay. How many of you remember what you were doing on 4/4/1? 4/4/1. Nobody remembers, and it's the most important day of your life. It's the most important day of your life. About 5 months before 9/11. 5 months before 9/11, president of MIT said, let's put all our courses free to the world. April 4th, 2001. They said, not just us, let's have universities in Vietnam, Vietnam National University. They had universities in the UK, universities in Korea, in Japan. All around the world put courses up for free, open courseware. You see, we've had this open courseware movement. Someone was on a rowing machine, rowing at MIT. Richard Liu said, in his brain, we should make courses free to the world. He went to a meeting the next day, took a shower, went to a meeting, and he said, let's make our classes free to the world. People laughed at him. Ha, 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 ha. That's a stupid idea. Who thought of that dumb idea? 1 week later, the president said, this is a good idea. Let's put all our courses free to the world. And they have over 2,000 courses up on the web for free. And so MIT Open Courseware movement happened. We have MIT Open Courseware movement. And you can get courses in engineering, architecture, agriculture, English, Spanish, We have a language learning people, someone said. She's teaching language. You get all these things, 2,000 courses. I'm interviewing people from MIT. I'm surveying people from MIT. What are you getting from open courseware? What are you getting from open education? How are your lives changing? What are your successes? What are your failures? What are your challenges? What are your obstacles using open courseware? You see, now what MIT is doing is going one step further. They're jumping ahead and jumping ahead. They start with OCW and OER. Now they're moving ahead to MOOCs and taking those MOOCs and putting certificates up. They've taken this start. They started small. Well, not so small, but they started with courses on the web, no instructor, just the content on the web. Now they're adding instructors to it and giving certificates out from MIT for $150. You can all get a certificate from MIT. I could never get into MIT. I'm too stupid. My test scores are really low, okay? She knows what you heard me yesterday. What was my score on the ACT?
19.
Okay, my niece got a 36, okay? I'm getting a 19, okay? I couldn't get in today to the same university I went to. Back in those days, it didn't matter. We didn't need a test score. Today, I couldn't get into the accounting school I went to. I'm too stupid. But today, it doesn't matter. I can learn online from the best universities in the world from open courseware, okay? People like me who are dumb and stupid can learn from anyone around the world and raise our intelligence. See, intelligence is not fixed. The harder you work, Carol Dweck's research shows that the harder you work, the more effort you put in, you can raise your intelligence if you have a growth mindset. If you look at intelligence as fixed and want test scores that assess people, well, you're not going to change much. If you expect people not to change, if you expect intelligence to be fixed, it will be fixed. If you look at intelligence as growth, see, that's what open courseware does. It provides us with a growth and optimistic metaphor of life. There's research that proves that people with a growth metaphor will grow, you see. Politicians don't understand this. They look at IQ as a set thing. It's not set. We can all raise our intelligence through the courses that we take, and that's where the role of e-learning comes in. That's where the role of blended learning comes in, you see. So we have MIT to thank. Charles Vest at MIT, who died in December, he just died. He saw millions of people learn from open courseware. He changed millions of people's lives. Imagine that. Imagine living in a world where you've gone from few people, 1,000 people a year can get into MIT. Now you got millions of people a year learning from MIT or Seoul National University or here or wherever around the world. You see, people are coming from around the world to MIT. You can see this, and they're students, they're teachers, they're educators, they're self-learners learning about sustainable energy. Imagine if the whole world can learn about sustainable energy. Imagine if the whole world can learn about global warming issues and save us from the catastrophe that we face. We're opening up education so we can get more minds thinking about these problems that are critical, right? I interviewed people using open courseware from MIT and other places. And they're they're interested in the topic. They're curious. They want self-improvement. They want to learn something. They want professional growth. They want to contribute to society. People want to make a difference. It's not just about test scores. It's not just about finishing the class. It's about interest and curiosity. We have to start with that, you see. We ask them, why? Factors leading to success. What factors? Freedom, choice, freedom, fun. Carl Rogers, the psychologist in 1980, wrote a book, Freedom to Learn. Freedom to Learn for the 1980s. I highly recommend this book. It's all about giving people choice and being a guide to learning. Teachers are guides. He talks about how to facilitate learning, not just direct instruction. Freedom to learn. See, in this open courseware movement, this e-learning movement, this blended learning movement is about freedom and choice and resource abundance. We have gone from an age of limited educational resources, books and professors, books and teachers, books and testing. We've moved from that age to millions of resources available. Too much resource abundance. Professors, teachers, educators need to be better at curating content like a museum curator and finding the best stuff and sharing the best stuff. So we move to a sense of adventure, collaboration, sharing. These are the reasons people are using OpenCourseWare. Not to get a degree, not to finish a course. They're there because of freedom and choice. We have to respect people more as learners, as human beings, you see. At Duke, they saw, well, at Duke we had 12,000 or 9,000 people sign up for bioelectricity. Only 200 finished the class. The newspaper was upset. Only 200 people finished. But the people who took the class were just interested in the topic. They want to supplement their learning. They want to decide if they want to go back to college. They weren't there to finish. They were there to dip their toe in the water to test out if they are interested in that topic or not. It's not about completion. It's about opening people's eyes up to new things, right? At Edinburgh in Scotland. Anyone been to Edinburgh? Interesting, fun place. Great castles. They had 5 classes they put online. Thousands of people signed up. Not everyone completed them. It's okay. They're just there to learn more, try new things, see what a MOOC is like, see what OpenCourseWare is like. They're just there to test it out. Okay? This woman here, Daphne Kohler, created Coursera. And she said, we can provide now guides, help. We can give a global network and have people around the world in Seoul, Korea, or in Bangkok to help people at a cafe. We can meet the course facilitators once a week. We can go to a learning center to help those self-directed learners get on track. People who sign up self-directed want a human touch. They want a sense that someone's there that cares about me. Okay? Once a week, Coursera is providing that as of October. These kids in Rwanda are learning from OpenCourseWare. They've created a program using free contents on the web because Rwanda is behind in terms of education. After the war disaster of the 1990s, thousands of teachers lost their lives. They don't have teachers. They need teachers. They're using open content, okay, as a result. Notice I'm saying different things from yesterday? Just for you, you know. Okay. All right. October 31st, 2013. This gentleman here who didn't create the OpenU in the UK, was the head of the OpenU in the UK, was knighted by the Queen. She made him Sir John Daniels. So Sir John Daniels, a friend of mine, he created OERU a couple months ago. OERU is an open education resource university. All of you can sign up, take courses for free. If you want it graded, you can pay money. If you want a certificate, you pay money. But if you don't want a certificate, you don't want a grade, it's all free. It's a new design, a new ideas about education. And he's among those pushing this. He used to be the president of the Commonwealth of Learning, COL. If you get a chance, go to the web and type in Commonwealth of Learning. They discuss how they use open education for people in Jamaica, people in Myanmar, people in all the former colonies, Australia, of the British, India, and so forth. Fascinating, called Commonwealth of Learning. Really interesting website on how farmers in Fiji or in Jamaica are using open education resources. This gentleman teaches a mythology course at University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, where I'll be in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And he had 50,000 people in his class, 50,000 coming from India, Netherlands, Spain, and all around the world, 200 countries. And he did weekly synchronous live lectures, and he put his other stuff online to self-pace. He had both, synchronous plus asynchronous, okay? And he became a celebrity at UPenn. You can all sign up for his classes. So that's a little taste of change here. I've got 11 o'clock break, was that it? Okay, about 36 minutes from now. This guy here, do you know him? What's his name? Steve Jobs. And what is he holding up? An iPad. How many have an iPad here? How many have a Samsung Galaxy tab of some kind? Any other kind of tablets? What else? Galaxies? Yep. You've got it. Hold it up. Can I borrow that? Can I keep it and take it home? Thank you very much. You're nice people here in Thailand. 5 minutes. Anyone have something besides a Samsung or an iPad? What else do we have? What other tablets are out there? What is that? There's a mini. Hold that up. Let's see what a mini looks like. Okay. Who else has a mini? Anyone else have a mini in here? My son just bought a mini. He likes that a lot, actually. So he's holding up, and you can search with these, right? You can search the internet. Do you have an internet connection in this room? Everyone's accessing the internet in this room? Okay, so live from your home, from your chair, right? From your car. I was with Chula people at this ancient city. What's the name of that city? Where was I on Sunday? Tell everyone. What's the name of that place?
เมืองโบราณค่ะเขาไปเมืองโบราณสมุทรปราการ
I was driving back in the van, and everyone's checking Facebook. Everyone's posting pictures up in the van. You know, I was on a plane. People are doing on a plane, you see. Back when I went to college, we did this. We had to walk to the library and use a card catalog, right? Remember that? How many remember these card catalogs, right? Okay? Prehistoric Googling, right? Times have changed. Learning has changed in many ways. Just that example of a tablet provides us with so many ways to think about learning changing, because now we carry that mini. She's got a mini. She can put it in her, probably hide it in her backpack somewhere, right? Simple, light, carry around wherever she goes. Okay? So today learning's changed. 15 ways learning has changed since I finished graduate school. My major was human learning and human development, fortunately. You see, because learning now is the thing. Learning is what we're all about. Human beings all need to learn lifelong learning. You see, if you don't get involved in lifelong learning, you're at a dead end, because everything's changing so fast. But you can't have all that knowledge in your brain. So today, after break, I'm going to give you 2 frameworks to remember all the changes that are happening. Before break, I might get to the first. There'll be a third one I might do before break. So I'm going to give you 3 ways to think about all these changes so you don't have to remember everything, okay? So learning's changing. This man from Texas, I don't know him, but he's a good guy, all those good buddies down in Texas. He's 80 years old, and he said, I need to get a degree. I'm retired, and I need a degree. His wife said, yes, go get a degree. I don't want you at home. Go to school. But he stayed home. He stayed home and learned online. From Western Governors University, at 80 years old, he got his accounting or marketing degree. Okay? An example of learning becoming open. People 100 years old are learning online now. 100-year-old people are mentoring kids in schools. Centenarians, we call that. Okay? In the UK, grandmothers teach kids in India who are retired teachers. 1 hour a week they give up the internet time to mentor and tutor kids around the world. Granny cameras, grandmother cameras. This woman here is in Peru in a wheelchair. She's disabled in a wheelchair in the rainforest of Peru, learning free online from the University of the People out of Pasadena, California originally. University of the People is a free university. Okay? Actually there's a small enrollment, but everything's free after that. And the final person here, he is a yak herder in Tibet, learning from Open Yale, learning how to write English composition. He wants to be an English teacher. Doesn't want to herd yaks his whole life. Open education changed his life. Okay? There was a gentleman in the United States who was in a hang gliding accident. Crashed a hang glider. He was a grocery store manager, okay? But he never finished his college degree. While he's in a hospital, in bed, he said, let me access the internet. Let me check this stuff out. He went online to Open Yale and took English courses. And he got interested in finishing his college degree while in a hospital, laid up, could nothing else to do. He could, watch TV or he could take classes, And he changed his life while, recovering. This little woman here, 15 years old now, I met about 5 years ago. She started teaching teachers at age 6. Her name's Adora Swivtak. Her father used to work at Microsoft, so she had computers at home. And her mother takes her around the world giving speeches. She writes 3 books already. She types 120 words a minute. She has a YouTube page, a teacher tube of all her trainings. She's been on Good Morning America in the United States, Oprah Winfrey, I don't know if you've heard of these people, but in the United States. She learns online and teaches online. Here she's speaking to Ban Ki-moon at the United Nations event, a web TV event. He introduced her. She's making a difference in the world. At age 15, at age 6, she started doing this. She's been teaching more than half of her life, and she's ready to retire. Okay? Try something else. This gentleman here is teaching technology skills. You see, learning here is more open. We are more open. Learning is more video-based. We're moving from Wikipedia to Videopedia. We're all learning through video. Learning's more flipped. This gentleman here, Salman Khan from the Khan Academy. Has anyone heard of the Khan Academy? Raise your hands. Khan Academy has videos on how to do math, chemistry, physics, all free. Short videos from him. They flip the classroom. Students watch the videos and then come to class for problem solving and discussion. You flip it. Instead of lecturing during class, they've watched the lecture before class. You're changing when instruction occurs. Okay? They flip it. His family's from India.